2024 changes. This is a very, very, very large list of changes, as we can see, and I'm going to be going over all of this live. This will take a very, very long time to do. So if you want to hear everything going on, just watch this video. Of course, you can use this as a like a podcast or, you know, just an audio book, something like that, because this might take a while. I'm going to be doing this live, so you can see my chat is in the top left corner. I'm hoping nobody says anything bad, but there might be bad things said, because everybody loves being stupid. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's just start going through it. 2024 gameplay preview, a guide to the gameplay changes coming in 2024. The season start 2024 gameplay changes will start hitting PvE today. Before they're out, we wanted to talk you through the changes you'll see coming to Summoner's Rift. We're eager to hear your feedback, so make sure to hop on PvE to test those updates and give us your feedback. Housekeeping note, things will be in a pretty early state when you first see them, so expect changes to things like blah 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 blah. This is just a disclaimer. Yes, the PvE is a PvE, it's a test environment. It won't be like they won't be like properly implemented and all that stuff. Okay. Gameplay changes, void grubs, and void mites. Not voidites, void mites. Okay. We got some brand new residents moving into the Barren Pit this season. The Void Grubs. They are void-born beasties that will be taking the place of the first Rift Herald each game before despawning at 14 minutes to make room for the Rift Herald. 3 Void Grubs will spawn at 5 minutes, each with his own respawn timer of 4 minutes. A maximum of 6 can spawn in a single game. When aggroed, each Void Grub will unleash a swarm of Void Mites to attack their enemies. Should you manage to take down some Void Grubs, your entire team will earn the Hunger of the Void buff, which will give the user damage over time bonus to structures. This buff stacks on the amount of Void Grubs you manage to take down, and when you manage to take down 5 or 6, you also periodically summon 1 or 2 Void Mites respectively to help you take down structures. So basically, it's interesting, and I appreciate that Riot's going in a more, let's say, interesting route. Rather than, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. I appreciate that they're going with a more interesting route rather than just being like, here's the same game again, right? Like, if there's something I miss about early League of Legends, it's that for like season 1 to 8, they were like changing the game every season, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't work. But at the very least, it kept things interesting. I know a lot of people like to be, like, reminiscing, right? They like to eat the member berries, you know. Oh, season 8 sucks. Season 7 was so much better. Oh, season 7 sucks. Season 6, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I do like that they're trying something new. So far as this change itself, it does seem interesting. My only concern here is that getting really early lane priority in top lane, this seems to be part of like trying to make top lane more impactful, right? My only issue here is that getting early control of top lane, and particularly playing some of those champions in top lane that just cannot be beat for 10 minutes. And you know exactly the ones I'm talking about. Quinn, Heimerdinger, Jace. The champions that realistically, they can either perma-kite you, so like they could be killing these while discouraging you from ever interacting with them. Or if you're trying to do it, they could just be permanently harassing you, so like there's just no way you can do it. Basically, my concern is that like the champions who have priority in top lane will then be able to maintain the ability to control this, because like some of the strategies to stop range top laners in particular from dominating the lane is to just play back and kind of let them have priority. I do like the idea though. I'm worried that like, and the problem is range top laners as a whole tend to not have that high of a pick rate, like 1 by 1. Each individual range top laner doesn't have that high of a pick rate, but then when you add it together, it adds up very quickly. So like range top, people always say range top laners are not picked that much, right? And sure, each individual one is not picked that much, but when you factor in that Jace, you know, let's look at like Masters Plus, right? So we have Jace down here, 6.6%. Then we have Gnar at 3.8%, right? So already up to like a 10% pick rate, right? Let's see, we have Kennen at 2.1%, so now we're up to 12% pick rate. I'm not even going to include Urgot or Kale. That's fine. Then we have Vayne at 1.6%, up to 14%. Quinn at 1.3%, so now up to, nearly 15%, blah, 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 right? So, like, once you start adding this up, there's Teemo, 1.1%. Once you start adding this up, you get to, like, 20% of games are going to be against some form of range top cheese. And one thing Riot doesn't realize is, as a whole, factored together, range top laners do have a very large win rate. Because, generally speaking, it's just very easy to win by automatically winning the early game, right? So just my thought here is I'm really hoping Riot is paying attention and not just going to be like, oh, range top laners have a 53% win rate on average, but that's fine because they're not picked that much, right? And yeah, I'm not even factoring in things like Pantheon here, and I'm not even factoring in Urgot or Kale, so don't come at me with that, okay? Rift Herald is back, and they have a brand new Void Grub inspired look. Why is the comma? They have a brand new Void Grub. There should be a comma here. Rift Herald is back, and they have a brand new Void Grub inspired look. Why they formatted this weirdly? But Shelly's appearance isn't all that's changing. Now you have to crush. Now when you crush the Eye of the Herald, Rift Herald will spawn as usual, but the user or an allied champion will be able to right-click the Herald to jump onto them, allowing the rider to steer Shelly similar to a Scion ultimate. If you charge Herald into a turret, then it will do more damage than if they charge into one uncontrolled. If you happen to run into an enemy champion, then they will be damaged and kicked airborne. Once you collide with terrain or turret, the champion riding Shelly will be knocked off, going back to their usual selves. Let me ask you a question. Is there any way that this isn't used to int randomly? Serious question. Is there any way that people don't just randomly int? Like, I guarantee somebody is riding Shelly into 5 people and dying, right? I swear, I promise you, this is gonna happen every single time. I promise you. Like every game, someone's just gonna ride. It's gonna happen for like a month, dude. There's just gonna be a month of people inting hard with Shelly. Sure, sometimes you might hit the 5-man Shelly into the Diana ult, right? Sometimes, sure, but it's interesting. Once again, I like that things are changing. I like that, like, there's new funny things happening, right? It's funny, it's interesting, it's great, right? Void camps. As it turns out, the Void is the gift that keeps on giving in terms of the 2024 updates. Having expanded its presence throughout the map, Blue Sentinel, Red Brambleback, and Rift Scuttler are looking a little voidier. Once Baron Nashor emerges onto the Rift at 20 minutes, the next Blue Sentinel or Red Brambleback respawn will rise again as Voidborn Sentinel and Voidborn Brambleback, respectively. Why do they call it Blue Sentinel, Red Brambleback? Could they just call it Blue Buff, Red Buff? I don't know. This transformation comes with increased durability, making them harder to take down, but fret not, because the extra effort is worth it. Now when slain, Blue and Red will grant their buffs to the entire team of the player that takes them down. I guess that's one way to finally avoid only the AD carry getting red buff and only the mid laner getting blue buff every time. Because they were trying to, like, make more people able to get buffs anyway. I mean, I get it. They're trying to force more team fights. I guess my only concern here is they seem to be stuck in the middle of 2 routes. Route 1 is they repeatedly are trying to, like, so my camera was like a little bit off to the side. Route 1 is that they continuously trying to make split pushing better, and Route 2 is they continuously try to be making team fighting more important and happen more often. And I think between the two of them, they're kind of getting stuck, because each time they push one, they make the other more important. You know what I mean? Like, each time they make split pushing more important, they make team fighting worse. Each time they make team fighting more important, they make split pushing worse. So, yeah. At the very least, I would prefer they just went full into team fighting. Like, to be blunt, one thing that Riot has really suffered at in the past is bruisers. This is the exact problem with bruisers. Bruisers are better 1v1, but they're not very good at team fighting. Now, of course, people are saying, actually, bruisers are amazing at team fighting. No, shut up. Just shut up. I hate this meme. It's so stupid. It's like top laners have to like respectively like resign themselves to like agreeing with this stupid take just because everyone spams it so much. It's easier to agree with it at this point, right? But no, it's a stupid take. No, bruisers suck at team fighting. There is no world where you'd ever rather have even some of the best team fighting bruisers. There's no world where you'd rather have like a Renekton or a Jax than an Orianna, than an Azir, than another AD carry, right? You wouldn't want that. Now, can you go too squishy as a team? Sure, but to say that a team is going to end up being too squishy, that's not enough reason. Fighters just are not that good at team fighting, right? And so a problem here is if they continue to force team fighting, it will, in a way, de-emphasize top lane. At the very least, not top lane, but at the very least de-emphasize bruisers. If team fights become more and more popular and they become more and more important, we're going to see top laners start going and saying, okay, maybe I would rather play, screw it, Heimerdinger top. I'd rather play Heimerdinger top than a bruiser because we're just going to continuously team fight the entire game. At any rate, I guess my point is, I wish Riot would just fully force team fights, or at the very least push team fights, and then say, screw it, let's just buff bruisers in team fights, right? Okay. Similarly, after 20 minutes, once Rift Scuttler rises after being slain, he will be a Voidborn Scuttler. When slain, Voidborn Scuttler will send out a massive Scryer's Bloom effect, revealing all champions and wards in the surrounding area. Similar to Scryer's, all wards revealed this way will be reduced to 1 HP. Okay, I guess my only concern with this is, doesn't this kind of like hurt stealth champions a lot? Like, if I'm playing a Kali and Rift Scuttler goes down, like every other champion can continue to fight. If I'm playing Aatrox, I can just continue to fight. It doesn't really affect me that much. If I'm playing Quinn, if I'm playing Vayne, if I'm playing Tristana, if I'm playing Orianna, if I'm playing Brand, all these champions, I can just continue to fight as normal, right? But then if I'm playing a Kali, if I'm playing Shaco, if I'm playing Kha'Zix, I mean, how long does this reveal last, right? Because I don't think that just randomly punishing the hell, I don't think just randomly punishing stealth champions really hard has ever turned into a good situation. Now it's a star of Baron Pit himself, Baron Nashor. In line with the visual update we've made to Herald, Baron himself will also be getting a fresh coat of pixel paint. And wow, you'll have to give the team a hand for coming up with this reimagined Baron. That's an interesting map change. Okay. Huh. He's also, but visual update isn't the only thing Baron's getting with updates. He's also getting 3 brand new forms. Hunting Baron leaves the pit unchanged. Territorial Baron creates a wall in front of the pit. And finally, the All-Seeing Baron closes off the front and opens up both sides, creating a tunnel. These new configurations create variations in how Baron fights play out to the game. Oh, wait, that's just opened. Interesting. Okay. Where's the third one? Okay, my only problem with this, all 3 of these blatantly favor ranged champions. This blatantly favors ranged champions because they have way more terrain to play around. This blatantly favors ranged champions because Baron has always favored ranged champions. That's just how it's always been. And this blatantly favors ranged champions because it's now a wall that makes it harder for melee to interact with. So, yeah, it's like a hard buff for mages, a hard buff for ranged champions. I guess melee is about the same as it's ever been. It just, melee kind of just sucks to Baron Pit with. AoE mages do amazing, AD carries do amazing, but melee's never really done that good. Okay, I mean, I guess it's randomness, which is funny. In order to make each Baron encounter more unique, we added different attacks for each Baron variation. All-Seeing Baron opens a void rift that creates a damage over time zone within the new tunnel pit. Territorial Baron pulls champions near him with his handy new hands. Finally, the Hunting Baron blasts all nearby enemies with lightning from above. Okay. Lore-wise, is Baron now... Like, is Baron Nashor no longer, like, one thing? Is this just, like, a regular void monster now? Is he just, like, are there just many different kinds of Barons? Baron Nashor, he's just, like, are there just hundreds of Barons? And they're all different? I guess. Okay. Terrain changes. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Instead of trying to read textual descriptions of the map changes, allow me to visually demonstrate instead, in addition to textual descriptions. Okay, so... There's now a... Okay, one side... Let me put it this way. Both sides can now hold at their turret without randomly getting inted by the opposing jungler. I shouldn't say inted. Randomly inting the opposing jungler. Let's put it that way. Because the problem was, if this side held their lane, they would always just int because the opposing jungler would just run up. So like both sides just had to slow push, but this side just had like a weird advantage. This side was always just like weirdly better. So now both sides are harder to gank. Now they're okay, so they've also removed the brush from here. So you can't just get randomly, well, once again, you can't just randomly int someone who just, because the problem is, they would turn off your ward, hop over the wall, and then they would be right next to you before you could possibly interact, right? Unless you were staring at your ward, unless your team spam pinged you instantly, what would very, very frequently happen, they'd start sweeping, hop over the wall, run up to you, and they'd be within gap closer range before you could even see it coming. It will take like 3 seconds. So this is a good change as well, because now you can ward here and they can't sweep over the wall. That's a good change. I actually like this change as a whole entirely. It just makes it much harder to gank top lane, and it makes it more capable that if you're actually warding and if you're actually playing well, it's much harder to gank you. Because in the past, even if you're playing absolutely perfectly, if someone just continuously tried to spam gank you, eventually you'd be walking up to the minion wave to last hit as they tried to gank you, and oh no, now they're behind me, I'm dead. Because like you couldn't see them until they were right here. Okay. Up in topside, we have two major changes. First, we somewhat mirrored the terrain from blue to red, making gank paths more similar and the lane trickier to gank. Second, we created a new little wall and brush combination in the middle of the river entrance. I mean, tri-brush is still tri-brush for both sides. I guess this brush I'm a bit iffy about, because like this brush is really close to the turret. Like, this one is still far away, right? Like, if someone starts running at me here and I'm under turret, I can be like, oh no. But like, in this brush, a dude can literally hit me with a Lee Q as I'm under turret. Lee Sin ward hops here, whoop, just whoop, jumps up here, goes over here, Qs me under turret. I literally can't even see it happening. I think they should probably push this brush back to like here. Or maybe like redo the wall a little bit. Yeah, like I could be under turret. Rengar jumps at me under turret. I'm literally like last hitting up here in front of the turret and Rengar jumps on me. And remember, Rengar's jump range is goddamn massive. Massive. So yeah, I think he could actually potentially get you from behind the turret here. I'm not sure, because like this is like zoomed out and it's kind of like hard to tell. But I think, because like if Rengar can jump here, which he can very easily, like if I'm looking at it, if he can jump there, yeah, he can definitely hit you behind the turret. Depending on how far up this brush is, like if this is where it is, right here, like think about it, right? Yeah, no, 100%. He could actually hit you behind the turret. Not like if you're like over here, he can't. But Rengar 100% could hit you behind the turret. If he can go here to here, which he can, then he can go here to here. So I'm just saying this might be a little bit excessive. This might be a little bit abusable. This side of the map might still get screwed really hard because this side basically will not be able to last hit under their turret without being at risk of death. Okay. Jungle. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. Okay. I'm taking it in. I'm thinking about it. I'm really I'm letting it happen. Okay. So what we have here is okay. So okay, I'm like trying to gather my thoughts. Okay, so I wish they showed like a little bit more down here. Did they show it? No. Can they show? Okay, I need to like take in these images at a whole. Okay, so down here it's the same, and then it leads out into a tri-brush. Okay, so it's like the same mirror down here. Do they do the same thing up here? See, here's one of the problems. They don't have the angling. They're not in like this angling. They're showing us like different. It's like what they're showing me in a whole. If I could like, if someone could like put these images over each other, I could very much be like I could very easily tell. But like without the images like interlaid over each other, so we can see. Okay, we still have the brush here. Okay, so top lane still has the same thing here, right? Like this brush here, you guys see that? Top lane still has that. But the thing is, top lane is showing more clearly like what's going on here, but it doesn't like I wish they showed me the whole map and then I could just zoom in. Okay, because like when I'm looking here, it's like hard to really grasp the situation as a whole. Okay, so basically it's easier. Okay, so what I'm noticing, removing the brush from here makes it very much easier to stop being ganked from top lane, because one of the big issues is you'd walk up here and then their mid laner had like free reign to come do something, or their jungler had free reign. So like you'd walk out to ward and their jungler's like walking here. Yeah, I know they have the same brush here, but like it's not from the safety of mid lane. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this brush ends up being more safe because now jungle and bot can enter this jungle. And the thing is, the brush goes right here, but it makes it so that like what this brush does is it makes it so you can like contest the dragon from a stealthy angle. Whereas like here, you couldn't actually contest the dragon. You could just screw with people who are trying to enter the river, I guess. So this does more. Yeah, basically, I gotta agree with Chad here. I feel like this makes it like top side is way better at dragons now. Like you're gonna have to keep this ward, and if they sweep it and walk through as they're sweeping it, like they can be seeing you doing dragon, and they can be killing you at dragon, and you can't do anything. You know, like, and so it's kind of it's a bit of a problem in my opinion, because I'd like to see this brush shortened like a little bit so that they can't literally be dead watching you at dragon from the safety of a brush. I know you'll say, oh, just ward it. Just ward the brush. I don't know. And then we got the mid changes. Oh, this is kind of like breaking my brain. Anyone else just feel like a wrinkle in their brain just appeared? Just me? Am I the only person who like I looked at this map and like my brain just like wrinkled? Okay, so as we can clearly see, there's no more clear path through. Okay, so The turrets are now just in the middle of the lane, which, okay, I'm gonna be dead honest. This is a change that I suggested like 10 years ago. And it's so weird to see it actually happening, because with the turrets being kind of more in the middle now, it actually makes it, I know this sounds dumb, but it makes it so much easier to defend. And it makes it so much easier to play melee. I kind of wished they had done that change to top lane, like had pushed the turrets up a little bit, so that you didn't have to like sit back in this gankable position, like up against the wall. Because the problem is, if you're here, you can't really like run in both directions easily. Like if you run out here, it'll take too much time. The turret was here, you could run out of like a gank. If like you notice they were behind you, you could just run out into the river and be like, and they'd be like, oh no. Like here, the thing is here, they can no longer come at you at the left side if you're farming at the turret. Like, yeah, they could. They can just literally walk out here, but the turret's gonna have vision. If I had to guesstimate, the turret will have vision to about here. So, like, if they try to come in here to gank you and you're farming in the middle, you just go, oop, and you just walk to the right. And then what are they gonna do, right? What are they gonna do? They just, you see them and you just, oh shit. If the turret was still like here up against the wall, they'd come out here and you'd be right next to them. And oh, you're dead. But like here in the middle, you can just walk to the right if they come to gank you, right? So let's say the support comes from bot lane. They come up here. You get vision. I mean, depending on if this vision gets cut off, let's see what they have to say. Now moving in the mid lane, we created more space by pushing the brush back a bit and moving one gank path further back. This should help create more safety for immobile mid lane mages, so players feel a little bit better when picking these type of champions. Yeah, so basically the mid lane mages can play more in the middle without being insanely gankable. The problem is, like, especially immobile mages, we're so goddamn gankable. You literally, I just come from top and I just say like, Deh! And they're dead. That's it. I literally just come from behind them and they're farming under turret and they're dead. How many times did I do that on Aatrox? Probably less than I should have, but it was, I mean, it was very common for mid lane mages to never be able to farm under turret, because if they did, they would just die. So yeah, basically mid lane is way more defendable. Yeah, sure, you can like walk through here, but then they'll see you. Depending on how far vision is, and if I had to guesstimate, vision probably extends out to here. They'll probably be able to see you for a split second. Maybe if you take the long way around and walk behind the turret, maybe. It does look like if there is line of sight from this, if there's not like line of sight, I think the main thing is if they're playing out here in the middle. If they're playing out here in the middle, you get more defensiveness against every gank opportunity. Like, it's still very gankable, but it's now like if they're playing here, if they're playing out here in the middle, if they're playing in front of the turret, you can't come from here because they'll have vision, right? So at best you could come from here, and over here is complete. So I like it a lot. Now maybe this makes mid more gankable. Maybe having more ability to get behind them makes them more gankable. Maybe this gank path lets you gank them more. I don't know. But my guesstimation is a proper mid lane mage keeping control of the wave and like continuing to push. I think a proper mid lane mage becomes better now. Okay. Bot. And finally, we made our way down to bot lane. The first change is similar to top lane. We added a small wall and pixel brush right behind it. Next up is a red side only change. We mirrored the blue tri-brush area onto the red side and opened up a new gank path beside the turret. This should help make both sides more symmetrical, eliminating any side-based advantage when it comes to gank warding prevention. Okay, so shoot. I'm gonna look at the top lane. So here's top lane. Zoop. Here's bot lane. So top lane, this turret is just way too gankable in my opinion. And so here's bot lane. Okay, so red side now is more protection because you can't wait in the brush to dive them. So neither side can get brush camped, but it doesn't make any sense. Why can top side get brush camped into a dive, which is gonna happen and is going to kill them, and this is gonna be awful. Like, I'm just imagining all the echoes who are gonna E out of the brush into me and kill me, right? All the Rengars who jump out of the brush, right? All these Jarvans. Jarvan can literally EQ out of the brush and kill you, right? And it's so bad. Bot lane, it's like for bot lane, they actually prepped for that, and they were like, no more brushes into a kill. It looks like they also moved the turret a little bit. I think they did. That's definitely further back, right? So they can hold the lane here, but then their opponents can run out, but then they have vision. They can hold the lane here, but then their opponents can run out. So both sides can hold the lane. Both sides can get ganked here. Both sides, if they play back under turret, have more safety. I get it. I mean, nah. Infernal Drake changes. Given the terrain changes we introduced with a set of changes, we also need to adjust some Drakes so they'll play nicely with the new walls. This includes moving your foods. After so much time building walls on Rift, it took a step back to look at Infernal map changes again. Now, once the Infernal Rift is locked in, Infernal Cinders will spawn around the map. Each Cinder will give the champion that picked it up adaptive stats beneficial to your champion and a burst of movement speed. Upon death, champions will drop half of their Cinders, which can then be picked up by enemy allied champions. We wanted to experiment with these changes after considering player feedback about the Infernal Rift being the least interesting in terms of gameplay. Our goal is that the blah 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 blah. So the Infernal Rift no longer breaks the map, it now gives you Infernal Cinders. Okay, disagree, because this is just another wacky change that just hits tanks for literally no reason. Tanks have the lowest AD ratios, often have AD scaling. Some tanks do have good AP ratios, yes, but as a whole, most tanks have bad AD AP ratios as a whole, and they don't benefit from adaptive force that well. Cosante has a 0.4 AD ratio on his Q, a 0.5 AD ratio on his W. That's it. Ornn has a 1.1 AD ratio on his Q and a combined 0.4 AP ratio on his ultimate. So look at Mundo. These champions just do not have ratios. So I don't think an adaptive stat is good. Now, if you just made it a % damage increase, that would be fine. That would be good. That would be great, right? But just making it adaptive force. And then the problem is, what does adaptive force do? So it blatantly favors champions like Riven, blatantly favors Aatrox, doesn't really help Jax that much, kind of sort of helps Aurelia, I guess. You know, certain champions like Pantheon make out like bandits, and then certain champions like Mundo get basically nothing. Okay. Not just make it a % damage increase. Why? It's not hard. In fact, I imagine that's easy to do. Let's start with one of the more simpler changes: fist bumps. That's right, Riot Games, whose logo is a fist bump, added an interactive fist bump into League of Legends. All you need to do is activate the emote, wait for another team member to use the emote, and then boom, fist bump achieved. So fist bump achieved. Cue the fireworks. Was anyone given fireworks? Okay. New item thematic vote results. Last month, we introduced you to Go Fast with Friends, a new tank support item that speeds up allies who follow you into battle. We tallied up the votes around the world, and while the results were incredibly close, Trailblazer took the lead at 35% of the results. Eerie Invitation got 34%, and Scouts Fanfare got 31%. New item, Trailblazer. Trailblazer. 2,400 gold. Winged Moonplate, Chain Vest, 800 gold. Winged Moonplate continues to be one of the weakest items in the entire game, that whenever I build it, I think to myself, oh god, I was mugged. Someone took 400 gold from me. This coffee is bad. I'm sorry. That was my actual reaction. It's so harsh. 250 health, 40 armor, 5% movement speed. Passive. Make the path. While moving, build up to 20 movement speed. At maximum stacks, leave a trail that raises allies' movement speed by 15% of yours. Your next attack discharges built up move speed. For melee champions at top speed, this is a... Wait, it's just Dead Man's Plate, but it boosts allies and is cheaper. Are they removing Dead Man's Son? presumably, because let's be blunt, chat. Let's be blunt. Dead Man's Plate sucked and has not been good in quite some time. Dynamic music. You know our cool new void changes? Well, the brand new visuals aren't the only thing changes around the Baron bit with our changes. We also added in brand new music for when there's fighting around Baron or other void objectives. So make sure you're listening in. Can we okay, here's like a serious question. Can you guys make like the music for League of Legends more epic? And I mean like actually epic, right? Like I'm saying like maybe when Gangplank gets a kill, it should play like a little ditty, right? Play like a little theme from his music, right? Like maybe Gangplank gets a kill and for the next 5 seconds the game is just like just something like that, right? Just I don't know. I think League of Legends, it needs more zoomer energy. That's my opinion. I think League of Legends needs more zoomer energy. It sounds dumb, but I feel like when you think about it, it's not dumb. It just needs more spastic, fun energy, right? That would get annoying really fast. Then mute it. Then mute the music. Item changes. One of our biggest changes we have coming to the gameplay is demythicifying. So mythics are removed. Okay. Blah 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 blah. This is not an exhaustive list. Okay. Numbers and subject to change. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So we're not gonna try to pay too much attention to numbers here, but let's look at the actual stats. Okay. As part of the 2024 gameplay changes, all support items and quests have been combined into a single starter item to demystify support itemization decisions. While that might sound like we're and I want to reiterate, they're removing mythics. Mythics are being removed. So I just, for anyone who didn't know that yet, somehow mythics are being removed. Okay. All support items and quests have been combined into a single starter item to have blah blah blah. Well, that might sound like we're oversimplifying things. We're adding 5 upgrades for the item. Now, once your support quests have been completed, you'll be able to select one of 5 upgrades. Our goal is to support every champion in the role. So now you can pick whatever feels better on your champion, matchup, or even a playstyle. So bad. It's so bad. I can feel like my eyes drying out, like I'm just waking up because the coffee is so harsh. New World Atlas. Item cost 40 gold, 30 health. I think someone said that was 400, not 40. Why don't they adjust the article then at this point? Hasn't this article been out for over an hour? I'm going to assume 400. 400 gold. I'm just going to assume it. 400 gold, 30 health, mana regen, health regen, gold per 10 seconds. Earn 500 gold from this item and transform into room and compass. Gain a charge every 10 seconds up to 3 charges. While nearby an ally champion, consume a charge to earn gold via damaging abilities and attacks on opposing structures or killing a minion. I guess. Okay. Is Riot just too stubborn? So you're telling me the 400 gold is broken, and you're telling me the 30 health is broken, that this is 400 gold for 300 health? That doesn't seem right, chat. If this was 300 health, I would buy this as a top laner. No, it's 100. Chat, so this is 30. Okay. Upgraded for at 500 gold. 100 health, mana regen, health regen, 5 gold. Earn 1,000 gold. Damaging enemy structures. And killing a minion. Okay. You may notice Bounty of the Worlds is almost exactly the same as Rune Accomplice. Well, you noticed right. Bounty of Worlds is an in-between state that allows the item to upgrade into any of the 5 support item upgrades. Once upgraded, it served its purpose. Thank you, Bounty of Worlds. Okay, so this item, once you upgrade it into Bounty of Worlds, then you just, I guess you return back to the base, and you just freely upgraded it into an item. Okay. All the upgraded items get 200 health, mana regen, health regen, and gold. So you keep the gold now. I guess they went back and reverted that. It used to be in the past that supports would lose their gold generation after the early game, which was a really weird and dumb decision and kind of made it like hard to play supports that needed items, and frequently made it way too easy to play supports that didn't need items. As we've seen in the past, this kind of blatantly favored enchanters, who then had to get nerfed into the ground, whereas tank supports who need to continuously buy tank items, like, let's look at tank supports for a second. In the top 10, we have Nautilus, I guess Thresh if you count him, hypothetically Rakan? Alistar is bumped out. Rel is finally good, bumped out. Leona's bumped out. Braum is dead. Maokai's gone. Tarek is gone. Tom Kench is dead. Okay. So yeah, I guess my point is supports that actually needed to get gold were doing, in my opinion, not as good. And enchanters, before you say, but Hashinshin, but the thing is, enchanters all basically got across the board nerfed because enchanter supports were outperforming all the non-enchanters. So now maybe they can go back and buff up the enchanters, sure, but you know. Okay, so Blessing of the Mountain. Become blessed to reduce incoming damage by 40%, 25% for range. Lingering for 2 seconds after taking damage from a champion. When the reduction wears off, unleash a shockwave around you that slows nearby enemies by 50%. Effect refreshes after leaving combat for 15 seconds. Okay, so I guess tank supports can no longer get burst down. So if I'm playing Alistar or Braum or Nautilus, if I'm playing Nautilus and I hook an enemy, he can't just turn around. And now that it's like an 80 carry with Lord Dominic's, I can't like hook the 80 carry and they just turn around and go pew 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 and I'm dead. So you get 2 seconds of 40% damage reduction, which, by the way, just to be clear, that means if you were to die in those 2 seconds, you would still end up with 40% health. So it's not like you're not like a god, right? You just get 2 seconds of not dying horribly. 80, no one can buy this item, chat. This is a support item upgrade. You would have to buy the support item, then upgrade it to get this. Okay? So this is not at all achievable on non-supports. Okay. Passive. Slowing or immobilizing an enemy champion grants you and a nearby ally with the lowest amount of health 120% bonus health and 90 movement speed for 4 seconds. 20-second cooldown. Well, why does this one not scale? This one scales super good. And this one's a piece of shit. The 90 movement speed for 4 seconds is really good. Maybe they didn't make it scale because the movement speed was really good, but I mean, it's still probably going to be good because 90 movement speed for you and your ally for 4 seconds is kind of really good, right? Like that is really good. It's interesting that the health just doesn't scale. No, you can only scale. You only get one of these, chat. This is your support item. Okay, this is your support item. Okay, does everybody get that? This isn't like an item you can freely buy. This isn't something that you can find in the store. These are, you get one of these for fully upgrading your support item. Do you get that? So you can't just grab these all for free, okay? Okay, you only get one. I'm just gonna continue to double down and reiterate it for people that just like aren't mentally grasping this situation. Blood Song, Spellblade. After using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with an additional 75 physical damage on hit. So once again, non-scaling. 1.5 second cooldown. If the target is a champion, apply Expose Weakness, increasing the damage you take by 12%. This is very interesting. So it's a non-scale. So it's basically the new. Okay, so the thing is. Well, wait, doesn't Senna just go this and kill everybody? I mean, I guess they did add a melee ranged modifier. So like, if you're a melee champion, it's better, obviously. If you're a ranged champion, it's worse. I think the problem is, I mean, it doesn't do much damage, right? So like the damage isn't really that big a deal. It's all about the increased damage that they take. 75 might be decent early game for like Pike, but like it's not gonna scale. 75 early game could, you could whack people pretty decently, right? But by mid to late game, 75, that's getting mitigated down to like 40, and then it doesn't do anything. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good for Pike, Senna, maybe even Alistar, depending, right? But it is single target. There's no more multi-target or anything like that. Leona also as well could get Blood Song. Passive, Dreammaker. Create a blue dream bubble and a purple dream bubble every 8 seconds. Healing and shielding another ally blows both dream bubbles to them and empowers them for 3 seconds. Blue bubble reduces 140 incoming damage on the next hit, and purple bubble grants 90 bonus magic damage on the next hit. Did they just try to make this sound as like fucking Zoomer as possible? I know earlier I said we needed more Zoomer energy, but now I regret it. I don't want it, chat. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Zack's Realm Spike. Passive, Void Explosion. Dealing ability damage to a champion causes Dealing ability damage to a champion causes an explosion at their current location that damages the target and nearby enemies. Dealing 50 plus 3% maximum health and magic damage, capped at 300 against monsters. 3 second cooldown. What? Huh. So it scales on max health, everybody. It's not really that amazing on Brand, I don't think. I mean, obviously it's good. And obviously, even if Brand levels up and gets like 2000 HP, right? Like it's still going to be, was at 60. So it's still 110 magic damage, right? Plus AoE. Plus you build Rylai's and stuff like that. Sona, yeah. Alistar, yeah, definitely Alistar for this one, maybe. Interesting. So what I've noticed is this is the only scaling damage one, right? This does scaling damage reduction, but like none of the other ones scale. Blue bubble is just 140 damage reduction. Purple bubble is just 90 bonus magic damage, non-scaling. And it's only every 8 seconds. So Dreammaker does not scale. Blood Song scales the percent damage increase, but not the flat damage. Solstice Slay does not scale the movement speed and bonus health, but Realm Spike scales the max health. Now 3% is not that amazing, guys. Like, let's be real here. For those of you guys who are like, oh my god, I'm gonna build it on support Cho'Gath and kill everyone. If you had 4,000 health, guys, we are talking about 170 damage. So it would be doing less damage than Jax's W at 4,000 health. So I'm just saying, don't think that like, oh my god, supports are now going to be AoEing. Like, no. It's like a decent boost. I think I think what they're trying to do is de-emphasize support mages by making the support mage item kind of bad, because in the past we've had support mages have just been really annoying for everybody. Not support enchanters, not support like helpers, but support mages, Lux, Brand, Xerath, right? So I mean, you are right though. It's not bad. The thing is, it's not bad. It's not bad. Like it's not a bad item. I mean, I'll be honest. A 3-second cooldown might actually be good. I mean, because that means Brand can proc it twice off hitting you with a dot. So maybe it's good. Maybe, you know what? I gotta reiterate, chat. I gotta take back my previous thought. But the problem is, at least in my opinion, Celestial Opposition is like, bam, 40% damage reduction. This is like 90 movement speed for 4 seconds. This is like 12%. This one's like good, but it's more of like a scaling good. You know what I mean? Like, I think as the game goes on, it'll be more and more relevant. But like, definitely for these non-scaling effects like Dreammaker, like there's no way that like Zax's Realm Spike is doing better than Dreammaker in the first fight. Dreammaker in the first fight is like, you know, gonna be giving you some big shit. Realm Spike is like, that's okay. But as the game progresses and team fights start being bigger, I think Realm Spike will be better. In fact, I'm gonna be blunt. They might end up nerfing Realm Spike for like, yeah, like Swain, Brand. I think Realm Spike might actually get nerfed because of Swain. If I'm looking into it, if I'm thinking about it. Okay. Mage items. Malignance. Crown of the Shattered Queen, gone. Everfrost, gone. Leeching Leer, gone. Demonic Embrace, gone. Night Harvester, gone. Luden's Tempest, gone. Stopwatch, gone. Holy fuck, they removed Stopwatch. Wow, only 4 years after they promised to do it. Wow, do you think the entire community was correct? Do you think literally everyone except for stubborn developers might have been correct? Do you think Stopwatch might have been a really shitty item that made the game really goddamn annoying? You think? You think? Wow, that's crazy. Everyone might have been correct, and maybe, dude, it's like the two Riot developers are sitting there. It's like the two Riot developers are sitting there, and they're just like, no. It's like, you know that meme where it's like the one dude in front of 9 billion people, and he's just like, yes, all of you are incorrect. Okay. 3,000 gold, Lost Chapter, Fiendish Codex, 900 gold. Ability 80 ability power, 20 ability haste, 600 mana. Gain 15 ability haste to your ultimate. Okay, this last effect better be goddamn amazing, because what I'm reading right now is low ability power, average ability haste. Oh boy, ability haste for your ultimate. Literally, who gives one single minuscule fuck? Okay. Whenever you damage an enemy champion with your ultimate, burn the ground beneath them for 3 seconds, dealing 60 plus 6% AP magic damage every second and reducing their magic resistance by 6 to 12 for as long as they're on the burning ground. Okay, the problem I have with this item is they literally said that they don't want items to dominate the game anymore, and they want champions like basic stats to like win the game, right? Like they don't want mages just being balanced on like how many times can they proc Leandri's dot, how many times can they proc the Luden's burst, right? They want mages to be more balanced on their own items. And then they introduce this item, which basically reads, if you're fighting Swain, literally kill yourself. What? Okay. Yeah, sure. On some champions, like sure, Brand, it might not be that great. On like Xerath, it might not be that great. Dude, do you know how many mages have ultimates that just repeatedly hit you? Swain, Annie. I mean, shit, fucking Corky is gonna build this shit, dude. Jesus, let me think of the Fiddlesticks. There's another one. How many mages have dot or overtime ultimates? Dude, they're gonna have to literally ban this item on Swain. No joke, they will have to literally prevent Swain from building this item. They'll have to straight up make it so he can't build it. Guys, all these others, like, yeah, Victor is good. Kennen is like good. Fiddlesticks is good. Dude, there's no way that Swain builds this item. And here's the problem. If this item is even good on champions like Fiddlesticks, if this item is good on Fiddlesticks, it will absolutely break Swain. He will just sit. Guys, this is 60 flat damage plus 6% AP on Swain's ultimate. Plus it shreds their MR for the entire game. For the entire rest of the game, he just gets. Guys, let me remind you. Swain's ultimate right now does 20 to 60 damage plus 10% AP. This is another 60 plus 6% AP damage. His ultimate for the majority of the game is getting more. Okay, hold on. When you damage an enemy champion with your ultimate, whenever you damage an enemy champion with your ultimate, whenever you damage it, that will affect every single Swain ult tick. For more than the majority of his game, he's ultimately getting more than double damage. We're talking like this is like his ultimate is going to like 250% damage. That's wacky, right? It's a little bit wacky. I won't lie to you. You're gonna have to ban Swain from building this item. Caster's Companion. 3,000 gold. Again, what are we, arena now? Ha. But seriously. Lost Chapter, Hex Tech Alternator. 90 ability power. Okay. 20 ability haste. Okay. 600 mana. Okay. Gain a shot charge every 3 seconds. Up to a maximum of 6. So 18 seconds to restore all your shots. But you start the fight with 6. Damaging ability consumes all shots to deal an additional 40 plus 8% magic damage to the target and 1 additional nearby target per charge. If there are insufficient targets in range for each remaining shot, repeat that damage to the primary target, dealing 35% of the damage. I think this is a really bad idea. Like a really bad idea. Even if all you're doing is getting this damage every 3 seconds, even if that's all you're doing, that's 40 plus 8% AP every 3 seconds. If you guys remember Luden's Termperst is dealing 100 plus 10% AP damage. And that's considered pretty decent. This is doing 40 plus 8% AP, but every 3 seconds. Little bit aggressively tuned. At least it doesn't give movement speed. Storm Surge. 2,900 gold. Why not 3,000? We broke the 3,000, right? What are you doing? 90 ability power, 10 magic pen, 5 movement speed. So the stats alone are okay. Pretty hard on the one-shotty. Dealing 35% of a champion's maximum health within 3 seconds applies Storm Surge, granting the user 25% movement speed for 2 seconds. What? It doesn't give movement slow resist? It doesn't give slow resist? Right, it's not Storm Surge. It's not Storm Raider, unless it just entirely removes any of your ability to counter them. What are you doing, Riot? After 2 seconds, Storm Surge strikes the target with lightning, dealing 100 to 200 plus 50% AP magic damage to them. If they die to the lightning or before the lightning strikes, it detonates immediately in a large area around them and you gain 30 gold. That's like a little bit too much damage, right? Remember when you guys said that you didn't want mages to be balanced on items and you wanted them to be more about their own kit? That's like 2/3 of a mage nuke. That's like 2/3 of a nuke on the item. I mean, I get it. I mean, fundamentally, let's think about it. Chat, everybody shut up. Let me think. Let's think about it, chat. So basically, when we break it down, right? When we break it down and we give it the old thinky, right? It can't proc on a burst. Or sorry, not on a burst. It can't proc on a poke. It only procs on a burst. So champions like Xerath, they can't abuse this. Xerath has to go Caster's Companion. Why does this sound like a fate item? Fate works. Caster's Companion. Right? You know what I mean? And somehow it would be sexualized. Anyway. After 2 seconds, Storm Spirit throws them late. Okay, so you do 35% of their health, and then it nukes them again after 2 seconds. So you can't literally one-shot on it, but it does help you burst. But you have to do 35%, but it's 3 seconds. Ain't no champion in the goddamn game can't do more than 10% health a second, right? Like, 35% champion max health in 3 seconds. Dude, Xerath could do that, actually. If Xerath hits a WQ, he does that. So actually, this doesn't seem too bad for a mage. Okay. If they die to the lightning or before the lightning strikes, you get 30 gold. Okay, so every goddamn mage player in the game is gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna build the Storm Surge, and I'll get late game with my gold generation." And they'll be like, "Yeah, I got 30 gold. Yeah, I'm scaling. I got late game." Hunting guys, 1,300 gold. Blah 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 blah. Ability power, health. For each second in combat with enemy champions, deal 2% bonus damage up to 6. Okay, so we're getting back. Chat, we're getting back the old Leandri's Torment, right? Chat. Okay. Riftmaker. You guys said Riftmaker was gone. I guess you didn't. Damn you, Riot. Gain 2% of your bonus health. Okay, so 3,000 gold. Ability power, ability haste, health. Low stats on each, and health. Okay. For each second in combat with enemy champions, deal 2% bonus damage. At maximum strength, gain 6% Omnivamp. So, sorry, 10% Omnivamp, 6% from range. Okay. Wait, did I miss an item? Oh, Crypt Balloon. Man, I want to look at Riftmaker, though, because I'm a Mord enthusiast, chat. I will look back, chat! I will look back. Okay. Ability power, ability haste, 30% magic pen. Whenever you get a takedown on enemy champion in 3 seconds to damaging them, create a healing nova on their location that heals allies for 50 plus 50% AP, 60-second cooldown. This is a really weird item, I won't lie to you. So you have to burst. You have to burst because it's a magic pen item, right? So like this isn't an enchanter item, but all it does is heal. This is an interesting item. It's very interesting, chat. It's very interesting. It's like very good. Like if you're playing like Orianna, but Orianna would want to burst people, but it's 30% pens, you can, but it's not as good as Void Staff. It's like such a, okay, chat, this is like such an interesting item. This is like such an interesting item because it like, chat, this reminds me of old League of Legends items. I shit you not. Whoever designed this item, you're a very interesting man. I appreciate you because this is actually so interesting, dude. I'm not even joking. It's like an item that's fighting against itself. It's like, do you want to burst people but also heal your allies? And you're just sitting there like, but I want to do the big damage, but the utility. The heal's not that high, but later in the game, getting like a 300 heal is not a small amount, right? Especially to all your allies. It's so interesting because I think it's not even that much weaker than Void Staff, and it gives ability haste. It's like a good way. It's like a good way. It's like a really good way to make support mages stronger in like an interesting way. I actually really like this item. I actually like this item. Yeah, like champions like Karma and stuff. Riftmaker. Okay, so bonus health is ability power. Up to 10% damage. Omnivamp at max stats. Omnivamp upgraded with the following. Now only exists on Riftmaker. Omnivamp heals you for a percentage of the damage you deal with reduced effect on minions and monsters. Omnivamp heals you for a full amount with pet or AoE damage. Chat, we did it! After 13 years, Riot is finally admit, hey guys, maybe AoEs should also be able to Omnivamp. Hey guys, maybe you don't always AoE into 3 opposing champions every time. Dude, it's so stupid too, because it's not like AoE champions did more overall damage. They just did more AoE. If you look at the end of the game, who would you always see topping the damage? It would either be the AD carry, or it would be the poke mage. It was like, yeah, sometimes you saw Zyra, sometimes you saw Brand, but it wasn't like they were always the most damage. Damage is damage. Why did some damage heal less than other damage? Damage is damage. So anyway, Omnivamp now heals on damage. It just heals less on minions. Fucking finally, right? But now it only exists on Riftmaker. So we did it, chat. We kind of have a waste of time because it's only 10%. If someone deals 3,000 damage to you, they only heal 300. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, we fixed it. 14 goddamn years later, we fixed it, but it doesn't really matter. Liandry's Torment. Passive Torment. Damaging champions. Dealing damage with abilities causes enemies to burn for 2% max health damage per second for 3 seconds. For each second in combat with enemy champions, gain 2% bonus damage max at 6%. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't combine them. They're still 2 different items. Okay, so Landry's Torment gives health and ability power. Riftmaker gives health, ability haste, and ability power, but less ability power, but also gives 2% of your bonus health as ability power. So both of them are good, but I think Landry's probably ends up being better. I think Landry's probably ends up being better because 2% health dot is a lot, but this scales up to more total damage, but it's like, this is a lot of words here, Chad. This is a lot of words that effectively read, get like 20 ability power. This basically reads, get like 20 ability power. This is get up to 10% damage and 10% Omnivamp, but who cares? And this one is just clarifying that Omnivamp heals. So yeah, you can build both, and maybe the idea is to build both. Maybe you build Riftmaker. Well, hold on here. Are these different? This is passive Suffering. This is passive Torment. And this is Void Corruption. So technically, it does look like you could stack both of these to get up to 16% more damage. It does look like that's true, Chad. Oh, but this one's only dealing damage. And this one's on being in combat. So it does look like you can stack these. Will it be good to stack them? I don't know. but it's definitely something a lot of people are going to do. It's definitely something people are going to do. I just don't know if it will be good. Well, let's see on Rylai's. Let's see what they do with Rylai's. Horizon Focus. Okay, so we have ability power at 90, ability haste at 20. So far the base stats are decent. When you deal damage with abilities to champions at 700 range or greater, reveal them. Deal 10% increased damage. When revealing an enemy champion with Hyper Shot, reveal all other enemy champions within 1200 range of them for 2 seconds on a 30-second cooldown. That is so goddamn wacky. I guess that's a way for poke mages to know that they're not about to be ass rammed. Right? Because, like, if I'm playing a support mage, if I'm playing Xerath, and I whack the opposing mid, and then it, like, reveals that their jungler is right next to them or some shit like that, right? Yeah, if I'm playing Lux, well, it also makes them way better at team fighting. Like, way better. Because if I'm playing Lux and I poke, it reveals the entire opposing team. Right? This doesn't have a cooldown. Hyper Shot doesn't have a cooldown. Focus does. So you can actually reveal people. So they can't brush cheese you. Yeah, okay. So basically, poke mages are now much squishier because they don't. I've noticed on all these items they don't have health, by the way. Only Landry's Torment and Riftmaker had health, right? So Horizon Focus doesn't have health, but it does give you more vision. Okay. Seeker's Arm Guard. 1600 gold now. A chunk of ability power, a chunk of armor. Activate Stasis. Transforms into Broken Arm Guard. So what was the fucking point, Riot? You wanna explain it to me, Riot? What was the fucking point? You remove stopwatch just to add it back? Wow, look at us, guys. We did it. We removed stopwatch. You're like, wow, that's so cool. And now it's on Seeker's Arm Guard. And you're just like... Shadow Flame. A gadillion ability power and flat magic pen. Okay. Magic damage and true damage critically strikes enemies below 35% health, dealing 20% increased damage. Reduced to 30% increased damage for damage over time and pet effects. Why does Riot always do this shit that makes it goddamn impossible to play a bruiser? Like, so if I'm playing Aatrox or Warwick or Mundo or Riot, serious question. Do you guys actually realize that you made bruisers so much based on fighting at low HP and so much based at making the mid-fight comeback? And now you're just gonna be like, aha, I fooled you. So now we've got Duskblade and now we've got Shadow Flame. How am I supposed to play at low HP if being at low HP blows me the fuck up? And everyone's gonna build this item, don't kid yourself. 120 ability power and 12 magic pen? Yeah, fuck that. Every single goddamn mage in the game is building it. Fuck that. Olaf, Renekton, Aatrox, Darius, Fiora. Geez, how many bruisers are balanced at fighting at low HP? Set, there's another big one. Illaoi, Jesus, Volibear, Tom Kench, Kled, Mundo. This is off the top of my head. Cosmic Drive, ability power, health, ability haste, movement speed, damaging enemy champion with ability grants bonus movement speed for 2 seconds. Ah, good. Grants bonus movement speed. Ah, just grants it. Just grants. How much, Riot? How much bonus movement speed? 100? 200? 90%? 7? Amplifying Tome is now down to 400 gold for 20 ability power. Cool. I guess. Probably needed to happen a long time ago, but okay. Rod of Ages, 2,700 gold for 50, 300, 300. Is it all the same? Yeah, it's the same item. It even gives you the free level for leveling up. Okay. Just, yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Assassin items. Remove Duskblade of Drekdar, Prowler's Claw, Voltaic Silo Sword. Okay, so Duskblade is gone. Can I get some crabs in chat? Duskblade is gone. Bruisers are saved. No longer do bruisers randomly get executed for being at low HP. Now they can play as intent. Aww. I suppose I can't be that mad because Freak is just channeling his inner stupid for when mages were the only class with a healing debuff, but it only applied when you were below half HP. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that? When the only healing debuff item in the game was a mage item, and it only applied when you were below half. So like it didn't even really affect 80 carries, but it just completely fucked over bruisers for like no reason. And now he's back. He's like, fuck them bruisers, boy. Oh god. I can see so much that Freak used to play League of Legends back in the day, because so many of these changes are literally just like Riot just reverting a lot of shit back to how it used to be. Okay. Voltaic Silo Sword. Damage, lethality, ability, haste, just generic stats. Moving and attacking, generate and energized attacks. Dashes and stealth generate faster. Your energized attacks supply 100 bonus damage and slows enemies. Yeah. I mean, that seems about normal to me, right? Like when you really look at it, right? Because yeah, I mean, yeah, does anyone I mean, this is like a perfectly fine item. Yep. In fact, it's even better than a perfectly fine item because it's finally designed for the class that should be using it. Right? Like the class that actually uses dashes and shit gets the slow energize item, right? Like finally, for once, it works. Okay. I noticed the brutalizers in the recipe. That'll be interesting. I noticed nobody spammed crabs when I said to spam crabs, by the way. You guys only spammed crabs like 12 minutes later. Okay, let's try it again. Duskblade is gone. Spam crabs in chat. Spam them! Chat, the stream will not continue until you spam the crabs. There we go. Damn, people. I gotta do all the fun for you. Okay, slow is melee only. Thank you, Riot. Profane Hydra. Do we now have Ravenous Hydra? Titanic Hydra? Profane Hydra? Polite Hydra? Energized Hydra? Old, tired, and out of shape Hydra? Dementia Hydra? 3,400 gold. Ooh, it's a big one. That's a big one. Damage, lethality, ability, haste, and a good chunk of each, deserving of 3,400 gold. When you kill an enemy champion, you're granted a statue of yourself. When a champion that you have damaged within the last 3 seconds dies, gain 10 plus 1 per statue attack damage for 60 seconds. Oh, that's hubris. I scrolled up and down to it. Okay, that's hubris. I was gonna say, okay, hubris is wacky. I don't hate it, but like, what? What? Profane Hydra. Okay. Deals damage to nearby enemies. This damage increases to enemies below 30% health. Okay. The active. So it's an active that deals damage, and it deals more damage to people below 30% health. And then it just cleaves. So it's just old Ravenous Hydra, but worse. And with lethality. Okay, I guess. I'm not really sure what to make of this one, I'll be blunt to you. Cool. Opportunity. Movement speed, lethality, damage. So no ability haste, but instead grants movement speed. After being out of combat with champions for 8 seconds, gain bonus lethality. The lethality lasts 3 seconds after dealing damage to champions. Murder speed. If a champion dies within 3 seconds of damaging them, get 150 decaying movement speed for 1.5 seconds. Okay, I mean, that's cool. Once again, I like it. I like it. Hubris is wacky. Profane Hydra is funny. Opportunity is fine. It's an assassin item that lets you get in and out, right? So it's good. I like it. Rectus. Why did they call it Rectress? Who decided that was going to be an item name, chat? Who thought this would be an actual item name? Who actually thought to themselves, ah yes, Rectress, let's add it. 20 attack damage, 4% movement speed. Okay. Just... Okay. The Brutalizer. Okay, Brutalizer is going to be overpowered. Sorry to say. Brutalizer is going to get nerfed. That's my actual opinion. 25 attack damage, 10 ability haste, 8 lethality. I think it's... You guys have to remember, Brutalizer is one of the most broken items in the game. It's like obviously nerfed a little bit, but it's still going to be a bit overtuned. I don't know. Okay. Serylda's Grudge. Damage, lethality, ability haste. Damaging abilities slow enemies below 50% health by 30% for 1 second. Gain 22 plus 12% lethality armor penetration. So they just stole Serylda's Grudge from Bruisers and shuffled it only onto assassins? But why? It's not like Bruisers had like infinite itemization options. Their only itemization option for armor pen was Black Cleaver. But wait, you made half the Bruisers deal magic damage to try to shuffle them off lethality. So... Okay, I guess. Cool. Turbo Cum Tank gone. Radiant Virtue gone. Even Shroud gone. Gargoyle Stoneblade gone. Aegis of the Legion gone. Lifewell Pendant gone. Tanks had one good item gone. Cool. You can kind of tell which classes they like and which ones they don't like here. Hollow Radiance, 2800 gold. 600 health, 40 magic resist, 100% base health regen. Good health. Magic resist. Immolate. Taking or dealing damage causes you to be... Okay, so is this just Sunfire? Is this just finally Sunfire but for magic damage? But... It's just MR Sunfire. After 13 years, they finally added MR Sunfire. But why is it so much better than the other Sunfire? Why is Magic Sunfire better? It gives more health, and it gives health regen. And it gives this weird passive effect. Killing an enemy deals 30 plus 3.5% bonus HP magic damage in an area around them. Non-ward, non-structure. Wait, but this means if an enemy fights you in a minion wave, you can fucking two-shot them. Like someone's in a minion wave, right? So let's say I'm playing Rammus. I run up, taunt an enemy in a minion wave. All the minions attack me. They die to my defensive ball curl, and they just fucking blow up. Chat, I promise you, this seems funny until it happens to you. It seems funny. It seems funny, Chad, until it happens to you, and then you're gonna go to the forums and you're gonna say, I was in the middle of a minion wave and then Sion Q'd me and it killed the minions and I took 300 magic damage and it did half my health. I don't like that at all. I promise you guys are gonna do it. I promise you. You're going to the forums and you're complaining. Oh wait, you're going to Reddit. Oh wait, no, you can't complain on Reddit because it's owned by Riot. So you're gonna go to League of Memes, which is somehow the better League subreddit now, and then you're gonna make a meme about it. Okay. Unending Despair. Health, armor, ability haste. What? Ability haste on a tank item? Riot! What are you doing? Tanks need 0 ability haste ever. This is overpowered. While in combat with champions, every 7 seconds, deal magic damage to nearby enemy champions, healing for 175% of the amount dealt. So it's ZZ Rot. No, not ZZ Rot. What's the other one? Jack Show. It's Jack Show if Riot was a good company. Because now it procs every 7 seconds and not just, you know, once. Okay, I like it. And the reason I like it is because it allows champions like Ornn to actually potentially stay in combat. Chat, Jack's show is 7 seconds, you dumb bastards. You're a tank. Tank, live for 7 seconds. Play good. Stop being stupid and fat. Kainik Rukern. Health, magic resist, health regen. After not taking damage from champions for 15 seconds, gaining magic shield for 18% of your maximum health. There is no way this doesn't get abused on bruisers and then Riot gets like 9 billion complaints and then eventually kills it. Like I promise you, the first time Jax or Aatrox or Renekton builds this item, there's gonna be people on the forums. I mean, it's just gonna be this. Dear Riot stupids, I was playing a mage and the bruiser didn't die in 1 hit. Please kill them forever. Signed mage. And Riot will be like, a mage said that? By God, a magic resist item was built. Kill it. Jack Show the protein. Health, armor, magic resist. Not a lot of health though. For each second in combat, gain a stack, up to a maximum of 5 stacks. At maximum, stacks become empowered, increasing your bonus resist by 25%. But it has no ability haste. So there's no ability haste on Kainik Rukern, and there's no ability haste on Jack Show. Are we going back to the days of mages or of tanks just straight up having 0 ability haste until 4 items? We are, aren't we? Because Ornn will go Sunfire into Jack Show, into Kainik, no, not Kainik, into Unending Despair, and he'll have 10 ability haste at 3 items. So every single tank is going to have to go and grab the ability haste rune, and every one of them are going to have to grab the ability haste in sorcery and shit. Just so they can play the game. Deadman's wasn't removed. Okay. Health, armor, movement speed. You get up to 40 movement speed. Your next attack discharges built up movement speed to grant bonus physical damage. The strength of movement slowing effects is increased by 25%. Okay, I mean, that's interesting. The strength of movement slowing effects is reduced by 25%. Okay. But now it's 3,100 gold. So great. Singed can play the game, but only after he spends 3,100 gold on the worst goddamn stat line you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, 3,100 gold. Guys, 3,100 gold. Like, let me just be clear. A mage is going to have a one-shot item of doom, and you'll be able to, I can run slightly faster now. Force of nature, health, magic resist, movement speed. I'm going to skip through this because there's no way they actually make it good. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. You get steadfast for taking magic damage. You get blah, blah, blah. Wow. Yep, it's useless. You get more magic resist and movement speed at 8 stacks. Wow. Oh, sorry, I just got so sleepy. Yeah, sure, right. With percent magic pen in the game and being on everything, surely a bunch of magic resist is what I needed. Enchanter items, glowing moat. So Chempunk, Putrefier, gone. Chalice of Harmony, gone. What was Chalice of Harmony even doing anymore? I don't know. Dawn Core. Is that like if you're sexually attracted to the day beginning? Dawn Core. Ability power, ability haste, mana regen. Gain 3% heal and shield power and 5 ability power per 100% base mana regen. Passive, summoner spell haste. Grant 18 summoner spell haste. These were all the tank items? That was it? Mages get fuck you, the fuck you tree. Assassins get 19 different amazing items. Tanks, what did tanks get? They're like, you get magic resist sunfire. Oh, cool. What else? Yeah, you're good. What do you mean I'm good? Yeah, you're good. You got magic resist sunfire. You're good. See you in season 14. Amazing. So you just get, I mean, you get heal and shield power and ability power scaling. I'm actually curious. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items got removed. 1, 2, 3 items got added. Boy, this deal just keeps getting worse all the time. Okay, so they get more summoner spells, more flashes, and they get more healing and they get more shielding. Got it. Echoes of Helia. Health, ability power, ability haste, mana regen. Damaging enemy champion grants a soul shard up to a maximum of 3. Healing or shielding an ally consumes all soul shards and restores 20 health and deals 55 magic damage per shard to the nearest enemy champion. Those numbers are so goddamn insignificant. Wait, yeah, I'm actually confused. Wait, so they removed Gargoyle's stone plate. What did they add that made up for it? They removed the best tank item in the game. What did they make up for it? Riot, what did you do to make up for that? The best tank item in the game is gone. What item here possibly makes up for it? Are you kidding me? Staff of Flowing Water, ability power, ability haste, mana regen, heal and shield power. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to... Yeah, of course! Yeah, of course! Guys, Bruisers had good items. Gone! Healing or shielding allied champions grants the user 40 ability. Fuck you, right? Let's look at this shit. So what did we get? What did we possibly get? The only 2 items that made Bruisers playable are gone. So what did you do, right? What did you do to keep Bruisers good? Let's look, chat. Let's find out. What did you do to make Bruisers good? The best bruiser items in the game are gone. The only way for Jax to stay alive in a team fight, gone. The only way for bruisers to not die instantly to focus fire, gone. So what did you do, Riot? What amazing new items have you added? Sundered Sky, attack damage, ability haste. Wow, a whole 300 health. The first attack against a champion will critically strike for 150% damage and heals for 110 plus base AD plus 8% missing health. Exactly when I want to heal missing health. On my first attack. Okay, am I the dumbest motherfucker in the world? Or, like, does this literally not make sense? I'm trying to understand, chat. Am I the dumbest motherfucker in the world, or does this just not make any sense? The first attack against a champion will critically strike and heal you for 8% of missing health. So, I'm imagining playing Jax, and I'm being like gunned down in a team fight, and what do I need to be doing? Like, shit, I need a heal. Hit you. No, I need a heal. Hit you. No, I need a heal. How does this work, Ryan? What the fuck are you thinking? And once? Once per fight? Ever? Dude, it was like it was designed by a retard who hated bruisers so much, he wanted to give them the worst fucking item he could possibly have imagined as like a joke, as like an inside joke. He was like, imagine this item. It'll heal you on your first attack for missing health. I'm getting water. Dude, if it was like 20% missing health, if it was like 20, guys, let me try to explain to you how fucking useless this is. Okay? Let me try to, I'm gonna math it out and maybe you can understand why I'm making fun of this so much, okay? 110% AD, you say, but he heals for 110% of AD. On Jax, that's 154. Plus 4% missing health. By God, 4%. Let's say I'm missing 2,000 HP. By God, how much is that? Hashinshin? That's like 80 plus 154. Can you imagine Jax? He's like nearly dead. He has 1,000 health left. Right? The AD carrier is shooting him 500. Bam! 500. Bam! The mage is like 1,000 damage. Giga nuke. Jax walks up to you. He's like, no, it's my turn. Dink! heals 234. You're like, ah, shit, I should rethink my actions. Jax is like, yeah, dude, I have 234 more health than I did. It's like, shit, can you keep doing that? He's like, well, no, I can only do it once, but you should rethink fighting me because now I have more health than I did previously. Guys, that's how much Divine Sunderer used to heal on every proc. Wait. Do you guys not actually... Hold on, let me bring up Divine Sunderer. Divine Sunderer's current numbers are it heals for 88% base AD plus 2.2% of their health. On every proc. So, you know, it's total AD. Okay, great, fine. Let's fucking math it out, chat. Let's factor in what is the most ludicrous number of damage Jax can get to late game. 300. Oh man, 300. So he heals 450. Oh, plus 8% missing health. Fuck it. Let's say he's missing 3,000 health. Yeah, I will math out the most ludicrous number. 3,000 health. Fuck it. Let's say he's got 400 damage. 400. He heals, oh my god, 600 HP, chat. 600, by god. And then he's missing 4,000 health. Some fucking how. He's lost 4,000 health and he's not dead. By god. Chat, he still heals 970. Add a healing debuff in there, which everyone will had, and you're acting like this is worth it? Chat, come on. And let's remember, if he already hit the champion, he can't proc it again. So it's not, guys, like he has to be at that low health, then run up to a new target. He can't proc it. If he's already done any damage to them, he can't proc it again. And even in the best goddamn situation, it's not doing shit. Yeah, you're acting like he's gonna get to low health, then run up to each enemy champion, be like, bonk, run up to another bonk, run up to another bonk. That's just not how Reality Land is going to work. Reality Land doesn't work like that. Tiamat, okay. Is it just old Tiamat? It's just old Tiamat. Okay, not much to talk about here. It's just old Tiamat. It's just old Tiamat. Okay. Wait, did they not remove Heartsteel? Wait, so Heartsteel is still in the game. So every tank is gonna have to get Heartsteel. That's weird. Ravenous Hydra. It's the same item, but it has an active. But it doesn't stack damage anymore. Yeah, fair enough. That's basically what I thought it was going to be. Though, it used to have 18% lifesteal, not 10. Titanic Hydra. Is it just old Titanic Hydra? Yeah, it's just old Titanic Hydra. It got the active back. Okay, fair enough. Titanic Hydra's been a dead item for like... How long has it been? 5 years now? So... I'm eating some cake. Because it was my birthday a few days ago. So I got cookie cake. From my mom. Oh, the AoE doesn't lifesteal. Okay. 3,000 gold. Tunneler, Noon Quiver, 600 gold. 55 attack damage, 20... This is a bruiser item? Huh, bruisers didn't really get attack speed anymore. Attack damage, attack speed, health, 30 ultimate ability haste. After casting your ultimate, gain 35 attack speed and 15% movement speed. like a Jax item, yeah. Or at least it's trying to be a Jax item. Tornado, you can't use item actives because you play 80 carries. For everyone else, there's game complexity. What? What is this item? Why does there need to be an obnoxiously shitty health and damage item every season? Why does every fucking season need an obnoxiously bad health and damage item? It doesn't make sense. They've done it every season. Why? Damage, health, movement speed. Okay. That's Hull Breaker. So, health went down, damage went slightly up, movement speed is the same. Basic attacks grant a stack. Attacking enemy champion. Thank you, not all Farius. Attacking an enemy champion or epic monster while at max stacks consumes all stacks, deal 150% base AD physical damage, increased to 400% against structures. Nearby allied siege and super minions gain 15 to 90 bonus. Okay, so it's basically a dead item. It gives no armor, it gives no magic resist, it gives less health, its cost went up. I mean, does anyone actually see this item still being built? Honestly, why not just remove it? Serious question. Why not just remove it? Like, if you're gonna make an item that bad, why not just say fuck it, right? What's your point? Just remove it. Chat, you realize it doesn't even give the 20% bonus damage to structures anymore, right? So you get like the same damage against turrets, but also no armor, but also no magic resist, but also minions get less armor and magic resist, but also less health, but also the cost went up. Damage, attack speed, health. – 15-second cooldown does not say reduced by ability haste. No, I mean, seriously, like, what's the point of even keeping it in? Just, like, literally remove it. It's just gonna be a noob trap now. So just remove it. It's weird that they removed Gore Drinker, but not Stride Breaker. When Stride Breaker is blatantly the more toxic item. Okay, so it doesn't give ability haste anymore. Okay, so no ability haste, cost went down, health went slightly up, damage went down. The active gives you movement speed but slows for less and for less time. Honestly, I feel like they just kind of killed the item, but they don't want to admit it. It's not like the item is dead. It's like they just toned it down enough to where it's not really going to be good. You know? Like, it's just not going to be good. So once again, my question is, if you toned it down so hard that it's basically a noob trap, why not just remove it? Like, sure, maybe it still gets built on Garen, but it'll literally only be built on like the best champions. Now, it should be removed. Stridebreaker is a shit item for the game. An active slow is really bad for game health. Deadman's is fine because it's limited. That assassin item is fine because it's limited, but Stridebreaker was just too much. So Hullbreaker is dead. Stridebreaker still gets built on like Garen, maybe Darius. That's about it. And even then, I don't think you guys realize losing 20 ability haste is going to hurt those champions so hard that... Oh, it doesn't do damage either. You're right. Ooh. See, the thing is, they toned the item down so hard that it's just going to be a noob trap. It'll be like a conceptually good item that in concept could be good, but because the stats are so low that it won't be worth building. That's my opinion. Wits End, attack speed, magic resist, tenacity, 15 magic damage. Sure. 20 tenacity is worth 65 on hit damage. Wait, and then the 40 damage as well. This patch was designed by Freak. It's really goddamn obvious. It's really obvious, guys. Freak and his never-ending bruiser hatred. Amazing. So, Wits End is dead. Stridebreaker is dead. Hullbreaker is dead. Gore Drinker is gone. Divine Sunderer is gone. Sundered Sky is useless. I'm afraid of what they're going to do to Spirisosian. They deliberately overtuned Spirisosian to force bruisers to be relevant. So now what? Does it just not have stats? Or something? Your non-ultimate spells get 15 ability haste. Passive, Focus Will. Spell hits grant stacks up to 3. Your spells deal 3% increased damage for each stack. Item performance will differ for melee and ranged. Right, this is a last good bruiser item. If you kill it, and they're not showing the stats because they're undecided, Riot, if you kill Spirisosian, bruisers are gone. You only need 5 items for a build. We can find 5 items, right? You can still do Spirisosian, Black Cleaver, Sterak's Gauge. Like, there's still 3, right? Like, it'll be boring, but you can just build the same 3 items. It's fine. You only need 3 items to get through a game. But if you kill Spirisosian, you're down to Black Cleaver and Sterak's, and then there's not really much else. Phage gives movement speed again. Okay. Steel Sigil, damage and armor. What the hell builds out a Steel Sigil? Guardian Angel? Is that it? Well, wait, if Guardian Angel is in the marksman item, then why is Steel Sigil in the bruiser item? Guys, Trinity's a dead item. You can't teamfight on Trinity. Guys, the problem is Bruisers needed Gore Drinker and Divine Sunderer because they took too much damage to teamfight. That's why they overtuned Gore Drinker and Spirisosian, so Bruisers could actually teamfight. But you remove Gore Drinker, and you nerf Spirisosian super hard. You kill Wits End. You kill Hullbreaker. You kill all these items. And then what? What are you going to do? Let's see what they do for Marksman. Rage Knife and Gale Force are removed. Okay, so we're off to a good start. Because they didn't remove anything. I feel like I'm about to get freaked on. Okay, Terminus, 3,200. 40 damage, 30% attack speed, 30 magic damage on hit. All of these in total, not that amazing. Alternate between light and dark on hits each attack. Light attacks grant armor and magic resist up to 15 to 25%. No crit though. No crit. So this is actually not really a marksman item. It's more of an on-hit item. But okay. Dark attacks grant 6% armor pen and magic pen. On you? Granted. So it's on you. So they wanted Rage Blade to still be in the game. They wanted AD carries to still get 30% magic pen for no goddamn reason. But they didn't want to admit that removing the mythic passive ruined Freak's dream of marksman randomly ignoring magic resist. Okay. It doesn't give crit though. Honestly, like the stats itself aren't that incredible. I mean, they're good, no doubt. Like they're good, but they're not like that out of line. It's just the armor and magic resist is a bit much, especially when you factor in how much damage they're gonna do. The problem is it's too much of like a Kog'Maw item. It's too much of an item for a champion that's gonna sit in the back and do nothing. And then I guess they made it tankier so that Kog'Maw didn't get one shot, but they haven't solved the issue that if you don't one shot Kog'Maw, his DPS runs you the fuck over. So like I don't think they really thought it through is the problem. If Kog'Maw becomes too tanky to die, then he gets nerfed. But then who's Terminus for? I guess Akshan? So he can tank more? But Akshan typically builds to like kill you in 3 auto attacks. Because each auto attack shoots twice. Akshan builds to just go pew pew, walk, pew pew, walk, pew pew. He doesn't build to auto attack you 10 times, then start fighting. Now maybe it's good on Akshan anyway, because I mean the stats are decent. 40 damage, 3% attack. I mean it's basically Kraken Slayer, but why wouldn't he just build Kraken Slayer then, right? Oh well. 55 damage, 45 armor. So it's just Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel is just Guardian Angel with more damage and armor. Once again, more of a bruiser marksman item than just a marksman item. If you could have gotten Terminus with Divine Sunderer, that might have been a pretty decent Jax item, not gonna lie. Oh, you're right. If these stack on minions, then Kog'Maw's just gonna do the old Rage Blade thing, where he just stacks it on a minion real quick before team fighting, and then he just starts running at you and you can't fight back. Yeah, wait, if this stacks on minions... Yeah, I feel like, wait, if it stacks on minions, wait, top lane is fucked. Kayle, Kog'Maw, Gnar, everyone's just gonna go top with this item now. What the hell? Phantom Dancer. So we have the first crit. Wait, that's it? Wait, are we done? They just end? There's just no closing thoughts? Here's 3 80 carry items, and they just walk away? They just walk away? Wait. So you're telling me the 80 carry mythics aren't being nerfed? But Stridebreaker gets his fucking hip cracked in 2? Okay. Attack damage, attack speed, crit chance, movement speed. On attack, basic attack strength, go into see. Blah, blah, blah. Why did they even need to list it? It's basically not even changing. Movement speed. But it used to give movement speed. It's not really that different, is it? It's just 80 carries are gonna outrun bruisers again. Like, I've lived through that world, chat. I've lived through that time. So basically, okay, so bruisers lost Cyrilda's. Okay. So now what? Is that it? I'm like scrolling through. So basically, Bruiser's lost Cyrilda's. They're potentially losing Spear of Sojin, depending on what Riot does to it. Stridebreaker is all but dead. Hullbreaker is definitely dead. Wit's End is dead. I guess they got Nitro Hexagus. Does Riot really think that Bruisers can survive on 300 health? Remember, Spear of Sojin was 350 health, and that was deemed too little, and nobody built it. I mean, I guess the idea here is Jax just casts ult, then tries to one-shot you. That's it? I don't know, it's a little bit fucky to me. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, I guess. Have a great rest of your day.